Hello YouTube, it's your best friend Bethany, and today I'm going to go through just the basics of manifesting. I am not an expert in manifesting, but I have had someone ask a few times to do a little intro on it. I am going to leave some videos down below of people I watched who really kind of influenced me to want to practice manifesting in my own life, and I will link down more resources down below that are helpful, or at least that I find helpful. But if you enjoy these type of videos, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what other kinds of videos you want me to do, but definitely like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe. My goal is to hit 200. We're almost there, and then after that, just to continue to grow the Beth Friend fam. I post at least once a week and I make lifestyle content. I'm just sharing my life, as a 25-year-old living in Kansas City. I want to show biracial hair care, show you more of my vegan plant-based meals since I have been plant-based for a year in December, so over a year. I have lost 40 pounds in the last few years, and I also want to just share things that are health related and showing you guys what I'm doing to just have a healthy lifestyle. Not to focus on diet culture, but to focus on being the strongest, healthiest, mentally and physically that I can be for myself. And then just more things that arise, like whether that be some fashion videos because I wear clothing and I like clothing, but I am no expert. Whether that be makeup, but probably not, because definitely not an expert in that. But I just want to use this platform to share things about my life as a way to kind of be a creative outlet for myself, because I do have experience editing videos for work. And just because I grew up watching YouTube videos, and it was a huge part of my childhood, one of my favorite things to do hobby-wise. But I hope you enjoy this video. Definitely subscribe
so you can be part of the Best Friend fam.
But I do have my Instagram link down below. I do post here almost every single day, probably like 4 to 6 days a week. But let's hop right into the video. So once again, manifesting, I'm no expert, but I have been trying to kind of implement this into my life for about a year. Probably in March of 2020 is when I really started getting into it. Like, I've seen people post about it before on YouTube. There's definitely a lot of people who post about it on YouTube, so I will link some of my favorite down below. Also, sorry, my nails are so bad right now because I did them and I can't get them off, but I will. I'm struggling. So the basic idea of manifesting is what we put out into the universe, what we think we are, what we think we're capable of, and what we think for our future will become reality if you treat it as something that you see for yourself. So what you put out into the universe, you'll get back. If you think negatively about something, if you think that this is a goal and you're not even thinking negatively about it, but you think that it's going to be hard to achieve, basically it's this idea that if you think that way, it's going to be that way for you. If you think that, you are going to achieve this goal, this goal, this goal, or that you are capable of this goal, this goal, this goal, this goal, you have that inside of you. It's not even a goal, it's something you're like, this is gonna happen. Then you're putting that out into the universe and you're gonna get it back. And so without making it spiritual or anything like that, for me, I found that the basics of this I really like implementing into my life, because I may not know the answers to all this or why it's like this, but when I tell myself that I can do something, when I tell myself that this is gonna happen instead of this is something I want to happen, then it's almost like you find yourself looking for ways to get there yourself, when maybe you normally wouldn't have, because you're telling yourself that either it's not gonna happen, it's gonna be hard to happen, or even if you're positive about it, you're like, oh, it's gonna happen, but you're putting it into a maybe still. But when you tell yourself it's gonna happen, you start looking for those routes to get there. You start being more aware of things that will help you get to this next level. An example would be, say maybe you want to have a certain type of job, and you tell yourself, I'm gonna have that job. And so it's less of a stressor. You're not sitting there and having the stress that, oh, I'm never gonna get it, or hopefully I get this someday. When you tell yourself you are gonna get it, you start to see avenues of getting there. You could start applying to jobs more routinely because you know eventually one of them is going to be the one. You could be more confident in interviews because you know that you're going to find that job because that's something you want for yourself and that you know you're going to have for yourself. Just this change in mindset has not only helped with my own mental health, since I have a lot of anxiety. It's just letting myself know that I can do what I want to do and I will. But also it just opens up your mind to start to see how this can become, how these goals and how these things you want for yourselves can become reality. The way I see manifesting is it's letting yourself explore, it's self-exploration of what you truly want for yourself. You take the time, and instead of having a mindset of, oh, I don't want to focus on the things that I don't have and that I want for myself to be negative, you change that mindset completely. You make focusing on the things you don't have that you want for yourself a positive. You sit there and you smile about it. You make it a happy thing. You send out positive energy about the things that you want for yourself. Some of these for me are being healthy altogether, mental health, physical health, and hitting new health goals physically in the gym or running, stuff like that. When I haven't hit them, I don't treat it as a negative, and I don't tell myself it's a goal or that it's something that's gonna be hard to attain. I tell myself it's gonna happen and I'm working towards it. And believing in yourself makes it easier to see steps for how to get there. Another one would be career-wise, telling yourself what you want career-wise and not being afraid to admit to yourself what you want for yourself so that you actually are open to the idea and you're open to it in your life so you can see ways to actually get there. You can go on about this for so many things, whether it be relationships, whether it be traits you want to see in yourself more, like maybe you're shy and you want to tell yourself that you are, and you tell yourself that you want to be a more outgoing person. You don't want to be, you are an outgoing person. You can go all over the place with this, whatever your goals are, you can really think about this. Something that I've seen a lot on videos online and different articles is to somehow put this down on paper. And it doesn't have to actually be paper, but to put this down and make a record of it. To actually tell yourself that this is you. This is your future. This is your current. This is your present. This is what you are. For me, I've written down on paper because I actually like to write on paper. I've made my phone is kind of a little vision board for myself, and it has different things that I want for myself. If you treat these as not resolutions or goals for your year or goals for this, you tell yourself that this is what I am. This is what I am going to be, not that I'm hoping to be, but I'm going to be. And it's a reminder to yourself that this is what you are working on. This is what you are getting step by step closer to. For me, I put down these. You'll see I have a little vegan. I have been plant-based, and it's kind of like a reminder to myself to have less of my cheat times where I have cheese or chocolate, and also to remind myself that it is a goal of mine to get more involved, or not a goal, it is something I'm going to do, is I'm going to get more involved in the vegan community, learn more about sustainable practices, and lowering my purchases of products that are harmful to the world and to animals. Family here, I just put that there as a note that I am prioritizing my family, and it's something that I want to continue to be growing these healthy relationships with my family and making sure that it's such an important part of my life, because it really is, and making sure that it's treated that way in my life. Another one, this is a fitness influencer I love, but she is curvy like me, and she's definitely a role model for me of what I want to look like, because I want to look like myself. But the fact that she's just mentally and physically healthy and happy with herself and just confident, it's something that I'm like, I am that person, and here's a reminder of someone else that is doing this. And so I'm manifesting to continue to be that way, to continue making steps in completely loving my body and doing things that make my body feel good. And then on there I have one for money, I have one for YouTube, because YouTube is something that I absolutely love, and I'm hoping to continue to make it a part of my life, because I love documenting this stuff. I love the creative aspect of it, and marketing is what I do for work, so it's also interesting to me in that way. But that's one of them. And then I have one, it's this woman, she has beautiful curly hair, and not only is it a reminder to me that I love my curls and I'm gonna continue to embrace them, but it also She's wearing a shirt that says serious businesswoman, and it's a reminder to myself that I need to fight whenever I have imposter syndrome, that I am good at my job. And having all these things are a reminder, and it opens up my mind to just looking at that one as an example. I am good at my job, I am good at what I do, and it reminds me that what I contribute to my clients is important, and that what I do is worth my while, and that I am good at it and will continue to be good at it, and all I do is continue to get better at it. And this is not just a pep talk to myself, and this isn't supposed to sound narcissistic, but when you tell yourself these things, you find avenues to continue to better yourself in those ways. So for me, if I sit here and I'm like, I'm a serious businesswoman, maybe I'm focusing on that, and I see some webinars I would have clicked through on my email, but they're free and they would actually give me some real value. Now I'm clicking on them, I'm adding them to my calendar, and I'm doing them outside of my work time, which is helping me in the long run continue to be a serious businesswoman. And I won't go through all of them, but I have one about travel and then one about healthy relationships. But whatever they are for yourself, I found that treating them in this way, where it's less of a goal where you're feeling bad if you don't hit it, and less of a something that you're nervous that you're never gonna have, you tell yourself you're gonna have it. I tell myself I am, because I'm realizing that a lot of the things that we want in our lives, you may not get exactly what we're picturing, but when you picture that you can have it, you're gonna get closer to it. You're gonna get closer to, and maybe even have something slightly different, but maybe that's what you actually need. Maybe that's what you actually want. And having this positivity too has helped me not have so much anxiety about the little things, and to move forward and to be positive and to wake up every day trying to better myself. So that's kind of how manifesting has been manifested into my life. God, I'm too cheesy. And I know I didn't go way into detail on any of the specifics of this, but it's because I really am not an expert on manifesting, and I will share some of my favorite people who talk about manifesting on YouTube down below. I'm telling you, it's a shift in mindset, and it really is just such a positive shift. You don't have to do it one certain way. You can figure out what feels right to you, but when you start doing this, you'll feel when you're doing it the right way for yourself. It's positive. It's uplifting. You feel like you are on the right path for all of your goals. And it just gives you this chance to also appreciate yourself. You don't have to be like naively positive. You can learn from mistakes still, but you don't have to drown in them. So another thing I want to talk about, this is not exactly manifesting, but it's a book I just read, and it just really hit home with how I'm trying to live my life now. And I thought this would be a good thing to include in this, since manifesting was kind of what opened the door to this for me. And I feel like in 2020, I've had such a growth as an individual, with my mental health, with my self-love, with my self-understanding, and with my understanding of how I want to interact with this world, how I want to interact with other people. But I definitely suggest this book. It's called The 4 Agreements. It is very short. It's a short little baby. So I definitely think you should pick it up. I actually was super excited. My mom, I told her I loved it. She's read this, and I got this from a friend of mine named Lauren in Santa Barbara, and it's just been so critical to kind of putting words to how I've been feeling. And even if you're not feeling exactly how I'm feeling, this could put you on a whole new track of opening up your mind to ways that you can live your own life. And maybe you don't like it. Let me know down below if you read this, or if you do read it, and what your opinions are. But I told my mom that I really liked it, and she sent me more of his books, so those are gonna be next on my list. I haven't read them yet because I just got them, so I can't tell you about these ones yet. But the first one I'm gonna read is The 5th Agreement. And then there's The Mastery of Love, The Mastery of Self, and then Little Book of Wisdom, The Essential Teachings. But basically, I'll do a little rundown. The 4 agreements, I'll just go through them real quickly. The first one, to be impeccable with your word, which basically is telling you speak with integrity, to only say what you mean, to try to take away the negative power that we can have with our words. This can be, gossiping about people. This can be, saying something that's negative that you may feel, but what is the point of putting that out into the world? It's not saying don't defend yourself or things like that, but there are so many times that we use our words negatively, and this is something that I really want to work on in myself. And I'm not saying I am horrible at this already, but you can always learn and always grow to be better. The second one is don't take things personally. And for this one, really it hit home because sometimes even just from reading this, I realize other people say things maybe mean, maybe not mean. People may do things that, you know, maybe aren't really thinking about how I would feel. But the thing is, if you don't take things personally, the second one is don't take things personally. If you don't take things personally, which you really shouldn't, because a lot of the times if someone's being mean to you, if someone's doing something that disregards you, or they obviously didn't think about you when they were doing it, that's not an attack on you. And even if they are directly attacking you, there's usually some other thing that they're dealing with that has nothing to do with you. And even if they're not, they have their own problems. If they're attacking you for no reason, they have their own problems. It's kind of like just challenging yourself to not take things personally, which I really am working on, and I want to do that because what a freedom that is to not just sit here and not take things personally. What a weight lifted off your shoulders, and what a way to understand and move forward in your life without letting things that happen to you from other people have any effect on your day and on how you see things and how you live your life. The third one is don't make assumptions. Another one, I mean, I don't know why I'm saying another one I love all of them. Don't make assumptions is basically saying, if someone says something to you and you can infer it means this, you can tell yourself this, but you're telling yourself stories. So if someone says something like, oh, interesting dress, you know, you can sit there and be like, oh, they don't like it. Oh, this, oh, that. But just take their word for what it is. If you treat people like their words are impeccable, if you just treat what people say as what they say, you can take that time to ask questions and go, oh, what do you mean by that? Or you can, if you really don't know, yeah, what do you mean by that? And so that you are never putting words in someone else's mouth, so that you can really build a true understanding. And then the fourth agreement is to always do your best. You know, it's basically saying for the three other agreements to always try your best at this. Never more, never less, to always try your best, which some days you may have better days than others. But when you're always trying your best, you know, you're gonna feel good about that, and you're always getting closer and closer to just really finding your true freedom in life. And I also think this is crazy too, because I have a rib tattoo, my first tattoo, and it's only my best. That's the tattoo. And I got it because I have always had a little bit of a problem with anxiety and trying to be the best and perfection. Also a lot of negative talk where I feel like I'm not enough. And so I got this tattoo as a reminder to myself, and the tattoo below as a reminder. That's my goal, is to have these as reminders. Okay, sorry, I filled up my memory card because I am just rambling on. But I got the tattoo to remind myself that all I can do is my best. All I can do is my best. I can't do better than my best. And that's enough. Just trying my best is enough. And also to remind myself that if something's worth doing, it's worth giving it my full effort. But sorry, this is a rambly video, but I will leave the resources down below. Please like this video if you enjoy it. Please comment down below any ideas you want for other videos, any comments, any questions, and definitely subscribe. Join the Best Friend fam and help us reach 200. But yes, I'll let you go, let you get back to your lives, but I'll see you next time.